What's going on, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Kicking It with Crowder. This is episode 101, and this episode is brought to you by the Ivy Park Sports Bar and Grill. They are one of my sponsors, guys. We are live on location tonight. So the LA Rams and the Seattle Seahawks take on each other in about 20 minutes. If you're in Columbus and want to come catch the game somewhere, Ivy Park is a great place to come catch it. Also on Sunday night, they have NFL Sunday night, all day Sunday, they have NFL Sunday Night Ticket, guys. So if you're interested in a game and you don't have Sunday Ticket or Red Zone or anything like that, you can come and watch all the games from 1 o'clock and the 4 o'clock games up here at Ivy Park. They have specials going on all night, guys. So if you live in Columbus and you haven't checked out Ivy Park Sports Bar and Grill, definitely come back out here and check it out. We have a jam-packed show tonight. Also a jam-packed sports weekend. AL and NL wildcard series. So the LA Dodgers beat the St. Louis Cardinals last night on a walk-off home run by Chris Taylor. He actually didn't even start in the game, was pinch hitting in that situation. Hits the home run that gets them into the series against the San Francisco Giants. San Francisco Giants won 107 ball games. The Dodgers won 106, so that's going to be a heck of a matchup. The Atlanta Braves will take on the Milwaukee Brewers, and that's going to be an intriguing series. The Milwaukee Brewers have some really good pitchers, but I think the Atlanta Braves, Freddie Freeman, and of course Ozzie Albies will show up in this series, so we'll see what happens. Yeah, Bob, I'm really rooting for the Braves. I'm excited to see what happens. What's up, Glenn? Nice to see you on the chat, man. So I'm really excited for baseball. This time of year, you have the NFL going on, you have college, you have baseball, preseason basketball starting. So just a great time if you're a sports fan right now. And like I said, the Dodgers won on a walk-off 2-run home run last night to beat St. Louis. The Red Sox beat the Yankees 2 nights ago. Garrett Cole, the $324 million pitcher, did start the game, but did give up a bunch. And I got a bunch of wings here, guys. So if you like wings, they got a nice set of wings over here at Ivy Park Sports Bar and Grill. So. Where was I? All right, so Garrett Cole got rocked, taken out after the second inning. $324 million contract, but could not get it done the other night. MLB wildcard matchups are set. Boston will take on Tampa Bay in the divisional round. Houston and Chicago, they play today. Houston was able to take down the Chicago White Sox. What's up, Holton? And then also in the NL, like I said, Atlanta will play Milwaukee, Dodgers at Giants. NFL kicks off tonight, LA versus Seattle. LA lost last week to Arizona Cardinals, and that was kind of a shocking game. Did not see that coming. I had LA in that one in my lock, so I lost that game. Seattle's 9-1, guys. 9-1 in their last 10 Thursday night games. Russell Wilson, of course, 9-1 as a quarterback, won his last 4 starts. So they're looking to bounce back after a tough game last week against Arizona. I'll also have my NFL picks tonight as well. So I'll have my NFL and my 5 college locks tonight against the spread. Some big college games are set for this weekend. Auburn coming after the big win against LSU last weekend. So they take down LSU in Baton Rouge for the first time since 1999. And now they get to go play a Georgia team who's only given up 4 to 5 points a game on defense. Jordan Davis, Adam Anderson, this team is loaded on the defensive side of the football. Stetson Bennett has been playing quarterback. I'm not sure if he plays this weekend versus, of course he did last year versus Auburn, but I think that JT Daniels, if he's healthy, he gets a nod. So interesting to see what happens there. LSU, like I said, Auburn beat LSU. They'll be looking for Bo Nix to really step up in this ball game. Holton, what did you think of Bo Nix last week? I know he had some crazy plays, kind of looking like Johnny Manziel out there a little bit, but I'm excited to see what they're able to do versus defense. Are they going to be able to move the ball in between the 20s? So, and then if they do, can they punch it in? You can't beat Georgia with field goals. You have to score touchdowns. So, really want to see what they do against number 2 UGA. Should be a really good game. Alabama takes on Texas A&M in an 18-point ball game spread. I could definitely see Alabama covering it, even though they are down Drew Sanders at linebacker, down a couple linebackers. Drew Sanders at linebacker, and then also down a couple running backs as well. Bryce Young has looked really good so far early on in the season. He's 5-0. So it should be a good game. Texas A&M, hasn't looked the same since their quarterback went down. And yeah, you're right. I mean, his job was up for grabs. You know, a lot of people thought T.J. Finley would start in that game. I've told people all season Demetrius Davis is a really talented quarterback for the Auburn Tigers, and he's on that roster as well. So Texas A&M lost their quarterback earlier in the season to an injury. Haynes King, he is out. Their backup quarterback just hasn't looked the same as the starter. So they've kind of struggled a little bit. There's some big games this weekend, guys. So if you're watching tonight, be sure to hit that like button down below. Be sure to smash that like button down below. Be sure to like the page, share the post. Like the page, share the post for me, so more people can get it. So this can get out there, more people can see it. Like I said, we are live on location at Ivy Park Sports Bar and Grill. They have a beautiful bar back behind me. Like I said, Sunday NFL Ticket here in Columbus. They also are going to be showing the Georgia-Auburn game as well. So get on down here. It's a really, really great place. It's a great restaurant. They have great drinks, great food, great people. So just a really fun place to come, hang out. Nice restaurant here in Columbus, kind of heading out towards Harris County, and just overall great atmosphere. So guys, please be sure to like my page, share the post, like, share, and comment this down below. You can also find me on Apple. I'm on the Spotify, the iHeartRadio app, Facebook, Twitter, basically anywhere you get your favorite podcast, you can find me. I am there, guys. So we'll be back here at Ivy Park. We will be back October 21st. So we'll be back October 21st, guys. And I'm really excited to bring you a show then. Trivia, not sure we're going to be getting in much trivia tonight. Kind of started late. There was an accident on the roadway. And so started a little bit later today, and I'm not sure if we'll do trivia tonight, but we did record, and we are definitely going to have trivia on October 21st, where a lot of people have said they're going to come in. So be sure to share this around, guys, so more people can see it, and really, really appreciate you guys. We'll also be back, like I said, October 21st, and I want to thank all of my sponsors, not just Ivy Park Sports Bar and Grill, but I want to thank Greer Home Solutions, basically remodeling anything done around the home that you've been thinking about doing but maybe have just put to the side. Call Jacob Greer at Greer Home Solutions. He will take good care of you. They also do financing as well, so they're able to work with you on flexible payment options. Also, F&M Cigars, another one of my sponsors. Just want to shout out Brad Williams and their owner. They've been nothing but kind to me, and thank you so much for sponsoring this hometown show. Also, Crazy Daisy Incorporated. I also want to shout Miss Kimberly Jordan out as well. She does a great job with flowers, weddings, Valentine's Day in 5 to 6 months, guys. So if you need any flowers in town, she's your lady to call. She does a great job. So I wanted to be sure to thank all my sponsors, along with Ivy Park, Greer Home Solutions, F&M, and Crazy Daisy Incorporated, guys. So let's go. I want to get into. Sorry, guys, it's a little hot in here. All right. So I want to get into the Auburn-UGA game and what to look for in this game. I really think that that victory last week gave Bo Nix and Brian Harsin and this Auburn offense a lot of confidence heading into this Georgia game. But I will say that this Georgia defense is not LSU's defense. They're going to be a lot nastier in the front seven. Nakobe Dean, the talented linebacker, calls this defense. He's going to have these guys, in position, ready to play. Jordan Davis, I don't need to mention him much. Everyone knows what he's able to do. He is a disruptor on that defensive side of the football. Can really shut it down, your run game, and also get after the quarterback a little bit as well. He runs a sub-5 40. So I like Jordan Davis. They also have Nolan Smith, Adam Anderson. And they got players all over the football field. And Keely Ringo has really stepped up, the second-year corner from Arizona. And then Lewis Kine, the safety. And then you're going to get a big dose of Tyke Smith, the All-American safety from West Virginia. So look for this Auburn offense to struggle a little bit with this defense. I mean, it's going to be very hard not to. going up against this defense with Bo Nix and Tank Bigsby. They weren't able to run the football very much last week against LSU. So can they run the football this weekend? It's going to be tough to run on this Georgia front seven. And then if they can run, can they set up the play action? What's up, Zach? And then Georgia offensively, they've just been able to do what they wanted to do versus Arkansas. Arkansas was just unmatched. America's team, a lot of people said, after beating Texas and beating Texas A&M. Well, Arkansas met a real tough challenge against UGA. They were just outmatched last week. I think they lost 37-0, and Stetson Bennett was able to do what he was able to do. All four running backs, Kendall Milton, White, Cook, and McIntosh were able to do what they wanted to do. The offensive line pushed their defensive line around, and it was just a tremendous ball game from Georgia. Offensively, defensively, special teams, they blocked the punt. So, UGA, they just have to continue doing what they do, and they continue to pound the rock, continue to set up play action, and get some of these skill positions players the ball in their hand early, and then defensively, like I said, just stay sound, just stay focused. And Georgia's going to be very hard to beat this year. Most likely, I have them going 12-0, playing Alabama in the SEC championship. And regardless of what happens in the SEC championship, I think this is the year that Alabama and Georgia can both get into the playoff. Really, no matter what happens, I don't think they can lose 2 ball games. But I think if you lose one game or less, you're pretty much going to get into the college football playoff with how dominant they've been, how incredible they have actually been out there. So big shout out to Kirby Smart, UGA. If you're a high school prospect right now and you live in the state of Georgia and you're a top guy, I mean, it's going to be hard to pass down going to the University of Georgia. Yeah, Auburn's been able to come into the state of Georgia and Alabama and steal some players, but at the end of the day, Kirby Smart is keeping these in-state talent in-state, and that's what he needs to do. I think that yes, the spread's 14.5 this weekend, Auburn and Georgia, but I think that Georgia is going to be able to suffocate Bo Nix offensively. I think Auburn will score a couple points. I'm going to go 10 points. I'm going to go like 38-13, something like that. I mean, I got Georgia winning by 3 scores. So I got Georgia covering the spread, and I rolled with Arkansas last week with the points, 18.5. 37 wouldn't have been enough. I mean, they absolutely destroyed them. Yeah, I mean, you're right. Georgia fans do think it's their year, but this year they're very, very warranted to say that. I mean, yes, it's going to be tough to beat Alabama. That is very true. It's going to be tough to beat Alabama. But I think Georgia has the formula to do it. Kirby Smart, of course, came from Alabama. Knows how to do it if anyone does. So I think that they give them if anyone can beat Alabama this year, I think Georgia is the team to do it. Kirby Smart is a great recruiter. If he can just know when to maybe run a fake play, know when to beat. You got to know how to beat Nick Saban. No one's been able to do it. None of his assistant coaches have been able to do it. You're gonna have to call something in the right situation, a fake end around, something. You're gonna have to do a fake play, fake punt, fake field goal, something to beat Alabama. I truly think you can't just line up out there and go beat them. They haven't been able to do it in the past. They're going to have that big play to be able to do it. So I like Georgia this weekend versus Auburn. Like I said, 38-13. If Auburn can score 13 points, they're going to have to hold Georgia to under 13. It's going to be very, very hard to do. So that's my prediction there for UGA Auburn. I really like Georgia going into Auburn this weekend winning. As far as some other games that you'll see this weekend, Iowa-Penn State matchup in a top 5 matchup for the Big Ten. This is a huge game for both programs. Iowa, with that suffocating defense so far, having some good wins. Penn State, of course, beat Auburn at home. They beat Wisconsin. So Penn State struggled last year, but they have played much better this year. This Kirk LaFrance team he's always going to have these guys ready to play. They're going to be in position to win the ball game. The spread is really close, 1.5. I like Iowa 24-20 over Penn They not only get the win but also cover the spread. Penn State, is just, what's up, Ben? Penn State's just not going to be able to. They're just not going to be able to move the ball as much as they have on other teams, because this Iowa defense is really good top to bottom. They get it done in the middle of the football field, starting up front, and then they have some good corners, some good safeties that have been in the program for a few years, and I think Iowa just gets it done. They're going to be able to run the football on Penn State, and I like Iowa in this ball game, 24-20, covering the spread and winning the game. Like I said, Bama, A&M. A&M is just, offensively, they're not good enough. They need an elite playmaker to come in, maybe via the transfer portal next year. Maybe Haynes King does get healthy and is able to lead this A&M team, but right now they're just not able to move the football. The defense hasn't been as good. They haven't been as good up front. Last year the offensive line was really good. They thought they were able to replace these guys. It doesn't look like they were. At the end of the day, Texas A&M is they're going to lose a couple more games this year. This is a 7-5, 8-4 type year for Jimbo and Texas A&M, but he won't have many of those years. Of course, last year they were 10-1, 11-1, whatever they were, and people expect it every year, and it's just not going to happen in that tough West Division that they're in. LSU, Kentucky. I don't see why Kentucky can't pull this game off. They pulled a shocker off against Florida last week. Florida just struggled the entire ball game, and Kentucky was able to have a bunch of false starts. They were able to use that home field advantage, and they ended up beating Florida. And then I think they can definitely beat LSU and start 6-0, and I think they're the biggest threat to Georgia in the SEC East. I really do. A lot of people will say Florida is, but Florida already has 2 losses to Alabama and now Kentucky. So, the door's set up for Georgia. If they can just beat Kentucky, they pretty much have a chokehold on the SEC East. But Kentucky, LSU is going to be a good game. I like Kentucky in this game, 28-20. Going to be a very physical ball game. LSU has just struggled to move the ball offensively. They could not run the ball on Auburn at all. And then Johnson at quarterback has just not been able to make the plays when they need him to. They have a really talented receiver, but like last week, he couldn't come up with the catch in the crucial moments. The defense, has been okay. So I'm taking Kentucky in this ball game, getting a 6-0. And then you got Ole Miss, Arkansas, two teams that just weren't able to get it done last week against superior opponents in Georgia and Alabama. But this would be a much better matchup. Lane Kiffin, Matt Corral will try to get back on track versus the Sam Pittman Arkansas defense. 5.5. I think it's going to be a close game. Of course, Ole Miss threw all those interceptions last year against Arkansas. I think he does not do that this year, and Ole Miss is able to run the football on Arkansas, similar to how Georgia did. I expect Ole Miss to score around 40 points, and I don't think Arkansas can keep up. I'm going Ole Miss 41-28. So I got Ole Miss winning by 2 scores, and I think Ole Miss just gets it done, gets on track, and this can be a 10-win ball club in the SEC West. And then of course you also have Oklahoma, Texas. I'll talk about that. I'll be picking that game here in just a little bit. But guys, be sure to hit that like button. Be sure to follow me on Apple. I'm on Spotify, YouTube. Like I said, we're at the Ivy Sports Park Bar and Grill. I will get up and kind of let y'all see with the bar right there. Got some waitresses in the background, but yeah, y'all come check them out this weekend. Saturday, the Auburn Georgia game is on at 3:30. They'll be up here, and then Sunday, all day Sunday NFL tickets. So if you want to keep up with your fantasy team, or you want to watch your favorite out of town team and they're not on TV, be sure to go check them out, guys. So thank y'all so much. I want to talk a little bit about my NFL picks real quick and how I did last week. So. Last week, guys, I was 9-7, and the week before I was 12-4. So I was 31-17 heading into last week, and I want to talk a little bit about my picks from last week. So picks I got right. I got the Cincinnati over Jacksonville correct. I got Cincinnati. Had Buffalo versus Houston. Picked Buffalo. I had Dallas over Carolina. I had Indianapolis over Miami. I had the Chiefs over Philadelphia. I had Cleveland over Minnesota. I had Baltimore over Denver. I had Tampa Bay over New England. Green Bay over Pittsburgh. and I had the Raiders. Okay, so that's a loss. But so those are my 9 victories right there. My losses: had Atlanta over Washington in a game that was embarrassing. The Atlanta Falcons pretty much led the entire game. Of course, they let another victory slip away in the fourth quarter. I was there. It was tough to watch. They just weren't able to move the ball in their last 2 drives and let Washington just run all over them. Throw all over them, pretty much do whatever they wanted to do, and it's just frustrating that Atlanta can't keep a lead. They head to London this week to play the Jets. We'll see what happens. They'll be without Calvin Ridley and Russell Gage, who misses his 3rd game. I had that one wrong. I had Detroit over Chicago. I thought Detroit was playing good. They could beat Chicago and Justin Fields. I was wrong. I also had New Orleans over the Giants. So did everyone else. That was a loss. Tennessee over the Jets. That was a loss. That should have been a win. I also had the Rams over the Cardinals. That was a loss. San Francisco over Seattle. That was a loss. And then, like my last game was the Las Vegas Raiders over the Chargers. I had that one wrong as well. So 9-7 going in. I was 31-17, had a 9-7 week, so I'm 40-24 heading into week 5. So of course, guys, these spreads are straight up. So I will give my picks right now. So my Thursday night game, which is about to tip off if it hasn't already, I have the Los Angeles Rams tonight versus the Seattle Seahawks. I have the LA Rams in that one. I'll take the hometown Atlanta Hawks over the New York Jets. Green Bay over Cincinnati. Aaron Rodgers is just too good. Minnesota over Detroit. I took Detroit last week. They proved me wrong. I'm going to go Minnesota. Denver, Pittsburgh. I'll go with the Denver Broncos over Pittsburgh. Ben Roethlisberger is just a statue in that pocket. They're just not able to move the football offensively. Tampa Bay over Miami. I'll go with Tampa Bay. New Orleans gets back on track versus Washington this week. Carolina versus Philadelphia. I like the Carolina Panthers versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Philadelphia, they have one win. It was just because they played the Atlanta Falcons. They have not won since. Tennessee takes on Jacksonville. Urban Meyer goes to 0-5. Houston, I have them losing to New England Patriots. Mac Jones and Bill Belichick get back on track, get to 2-3. Las Vegas Raiders take on Chicago. I have them over the rookie quarterback Justin Fields. I'll take Cleveland Browns on the road against the Chargers. This is a toss-up for me. Justin Herbert's been very good as well as his defense, but I'll take Cleveland Browns on this one. Dallas versus the Giants. Dak Prescott's playing some really good football. This Dallas defense is playing a lot better under Dan Quinn. I'll take Dallas over the Giants. Arizona starting 4-0 versus San Francisco. This is a game San Francisco could easily win, but I will roll with Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals on this one. And then Kansas City versus Buffalo. A lot of people are going to take Buffalo and Josh Allen. I'll still roll with Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Andy Reid in this offense. I just think they're too good offensively. Yes, they do have some deficiencies on defense, but I'll roll with Patrick Mahomes. And Baltimore and Indianapolis. Baltimore, they're able to run the football versus Indianapolis, and I just like Lamar Jackson on Monday night. He always plays really good on Monday Night Football. I'll take Lamar Jackson. So those are my picks, guys. Real quick rundown. Rams over Seattle, Atlanta over New York, Green Bay over Cincinnati, Minnesota over Detroit, Denver over Pittsburgh, Tampa Bay over New Orleans, Carolina over Tennessee, New England over Houston, Las Vegas over Chicago, Cleveland over the Chargers, Dallas over the Giants, Arizona over the 49ers, KC over Buffalo, and Baltimore over Indianapolis. So we'll see how those picks go. And then as far as my locks go, so last week, guys, I gave you 6 picks, was 3-3 on those picks. Actually won the Iowa pick on Monday night, 3.5 over Maryland. And then I lost Ole Miss, I lost Army, and I lost Arkansas covering against UGA. So I was like 1-3, and then I needed BC and Kentucky. Kentucky, of course, beats Florida. BC covers against Clemson, so ended up 3-3. So my winners were Boston College, Kentucky, and Iowa. My losses were Ole Miss, Army, and Arkansas. So 3-3. I was 19-11-1 heading into that game. Now I am 22-14-1 heading into this week. So I want to talk a little bit about my picks, who I got, and this first pick, guys, this is a team that a lot of people are rolling with Nebraska on this one, but I just don't like this Nebraska team. Scott Frost, they've struggled, and this is Michigan. If this is a year for Jim Harbaugh and Michigan to maybe get it done with Ohio State already losing, and them having a relatively easy schedule down the road, I like Michigan minus 3.5 over Nebraska. A lot of people are taking Nebraska on this game. The spread was actually like 5.5 earlier in the week, but a lot of money is going towards Nebraska. So now Michigan is favored in this game, minus 3.5. I will take the Wolverines and Jim Harbaugh on this one. I've already talked about Iowa, Penn State a little bit, but I do like Iowa over Penn State this weekend at home. That's the big difference for me. I think if Penn State was playing at home, it may be a little different, but I'll roll with Iowa minus 1.5 over Penn State. BYU, guys, minus 5.5 over Boise. Boise team's 2-3. They're struggling, trying to find their identity after Brian Harsin left and went to Auburn. This BYU team is surprisingly 5-0 after losing Zach Wilson. I think they at home ABC game 5.5, 6 points depending on where you get it. I like BYU by 10 points or so over Boise State this weekend, so I'll take BYU in that one. We also have UGA over Auburn. I've already picked that game earlier on, but I'll roll with UGA in this game over Auburn Tigers minus 14.5. I just think that this defense is just too good, and then offensively they're able to move the ball on this Auburn defense, and 30-13, something like that, 35-13. That's my prediction. And then Texas plus 3.5 over Oklahoma. Oklahoma has struggled all year. They struggled against a bad Tulane team that's 1-4. Actually, as soon as I say that, Tulane scores a touchdown. It's like crazy. But Oklahoma did beat that Tulane team. They struggled against Kansas State. They struggled against West Virginia. I think Texas. What's up, Joe? I think Texas, having lost that game to Arkansas, they're getting more. They made the quarterback change. Thompson's getting more snaps, getting more confidence at quarterback, and I think that Texas, either gets a close win or a close loss. Keeps it within 3 points. They're plus 3.5, so I'm going to roll with Texas on this one. Hope for maybe a win, but if they lose, I hope they lose by a field goal, 27-24, 24-21, something like that. But I'll roll with Texas plus 3.5. And then my game tonight, guys, the Rams and the Seahawks have already started, but it's still 0-0. I'm rolling with the Rams on this one, minus 2. I just think the Rams are too good offensively. Cooper Kupp, Matthew Stafford, Darrell Henderson's going to have a nice night tonight. I just think they're able to get it done offensively, and then their defense, Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey, they just get back on track tonight. So I'll take the Rams minus 2 over the Seahawks. So 22-14, guys, 3-3 last week. My picks for sorry, my microphone stopped working. So my picks, guys, I got Michigan minus 3.5 over Nebraska, Iowa minus 1.5 over Penn State, BYU minus 5.5 over Boise, UGA minus 4.5 over Auburn, Texas plus 3.5 over Oklahoma, and LA Rams minus 2 over the Seahawks, guys. So those are my picks. And before we get out of here, I want to talk a little bit about the bracket. So I want to talk a little bit about my picks before the season and then how I have it going right now. Before the season, I had White Sox and Braves. Nothing has changed. I still have it that way. So I like Chicago over Houston in the opening round, Tampa Bay over Boston. So I have Chicago taking on Tampa Bay in the ALCS. I like Atlanta over Milwaukee and the Giants over LA. So I have Atlanta versus San Francisco in the NLCS. I'll take Atlanta and just their offensive power versus the Giants. I have the Braves getting it done in 6 games versus San Francisco to get back to the World Series, and then I have the Chicago White Sox beating the Rays to get back to their first World Series in a long time, and then Chicago White Sox versus Atlanta. Anything could happen. I say it goes 7 games, but I got to roll with my Atlanta Braves on this one. You can call it a homer pick. It is what it is. But I'm going to take Atlanta over the Chicago White Sox in the World Series. The Braves struggled this year, but they ended up getting it done. All they got to do is be the hottest team at the right time. And I'm taking the Atlanta Braves in the NL, out of the NL. And that's just, that's what I'm going to do. And we'll see how it goes, guys. But episode 101 that's a wrap, guys. And I really appreciate anyone who tuned in tonight. We will be back here recording live October 21st. We'll be up here from 7 to 9 o'clock. I will record my show like we're doing right now, and then we'll follow that up by trivia. I got a lot of people coming on the 21st. I don't think we're going to be able to get it done tonight, guys, but I really appreciate all of your likes, all your shares, all your comments, guys. Be sure to like this, to share this out, and I really, really appreciate you guys. This was episode 101 of Kicking It with Crowder. Until next time, I'm out. Let's go.